Alright, hi, what's up everyone, and welcome back to my channel. I am, of course, Hot Dogs. And this is my Sims 4 Love Island Winter Holiday Special, and it's, of course, part 3 of 3. This will be the last ever episode of this series of Sims 4 Love Island. And is it coming a week late? Maybe, but I don't care. So just be thankful you're getting it. As you'll see, a lot happens, good and bad. Don't want to spoil anything too soon, but we're starting off with Alana just burning money casually at a bonfire, of course. Just doing Alana things. And Joffrey is actually in a bush behind her, just casually freezing to death. So that's where we're starting today off. And it was actually Alana's daughter, Layla. It was her birthday. She was going from being a toddler to a child. And I just went ahead and I started aging up everyone. I just want to give Layla a shout out. It was her actual birthday. Everyone else just went ahead and aged up. So that's, of course, Harry, which was like Renee's son or Ava's son. One of the two. I don't remember. But they both looked really cute. I really liked how all of them turned out. And then I went to go age up Gage. Of course, my mermaid vampire hybrid. Things got a little funky. I think it's because I auto-aged him while he was sitting down and doing something. But I broke him. I broke every part of him. Did I fix Gage? No. I did not. I think I mainly just avoided making eye contact with him through my screen. He was so creepy and weird. I tried changing his clothes, tried resetting him, but I just was rolling with the punches. So I just went with it, and that's just how he is, okay? And don't judge him. He was a little bit weird from the get-go. He already had a weird mouth, so I don't care. I like the way he is. I think he's just beautiful in his own skin. But all of our other normal kids, they're growing up so fast. I mean, we have a teen and 2 children now that are part of the Love Island family, and I think that's just so cool. And I hope that in future projects to come, we can include Layla or Harry or whatever that other redhead's name is. There's too many, but hopefully later on in the future we can do that. I decided to leave the house and I'm like, let's finish up with this snowy escape pack. If we're here at Mount Komorebi, let's climb the mountain. So we already did a little bit of that, practicing and stuff like that. So I just sent all those adventurous Sims out into the wild. I sent Garrison, Clay, me. I'm not actually well, I kind of am. I don't mind hiking and stuff. I don't think I would climb a mountain. I would if I was on the challenge or something. I don't know. But I wanted to see how I would do in the Sims. Damien and Renee, I sent them to go ahead and we're going to climb the mountain and see just how far we get. Alright, so instantly I start cheating. I had already sent them rock climbing before, and I thought that you just went up the slope and you went that way, and then I didn't realize it was a whole event that you had to start and begin, and then I had to buy rock climbing equipment, which I didn't have, and it was just a whole thing. I didn't understand that you had to actually have the events going. So by the time I figured that out, I had just cheated my way up to the first part. So we're already hiking up. We're at part 1 of the real thing, and it's so confusing. I gotta say, they really give you no tutorial. When I was just looking around trying to find out how to hike the mountain, I was lost. I was just scrolling through the world forever. I guess I could have looked at a tutorial, but who does that? Not me. But we make it there eventually, and then we have all of them climbing this really high rock. Potentially someone could die, and I kind of have my fingers crossed that someone will. But we all successfully get up the second round of cliffs, whatever you want to call it. We all make it up there safely. Renee and Damien, they kind of go forward and they're kind of checking out the scene and what to expect in the next part, and everyone else is kind of hanging back. And of course, it is still fight day. If you remember from the last episode, it was fight day, and it's still going on. And it starts kicking off. Garrison kind of has a bit of anger for kind of no reason. Maybe it's the adrenaline of climbing the mountain. I'm not too sure, but he does start arguing. A fight between him and Clay breaks out. I'm just kind of standing there like... it's a bit awkward. And then we all just kind of hug it out and chug along to the next part. I gotta say, it is beautiful up here. All the snow, it's such a huge area. There's nothing to do here. But it's beautiful. Very, very Sims 4 of this mountain. We all start climbing up this, like, the biggest cliff, the largest one, you know, the final boss of all the cliffs. Super icy, super rugged. And they climb that thing so slow. I sped this thing up pretty quickly because, like, it's a bit of a drag, and I understand, like, there's not that much gameplay when it comes to climbing up the mountain, so you really gotta, like, drag out what you have, but, it is boring to watch. I recorded all of it, I'm just like, let's get through this footage. We all kind of make it up there pretty successfully. No one dies. And I don't know if I was stupid. I thought the area would be around here, but maybe it's at the peak and I just didn't notice because I was like, I'm at the peak. But like, I didn't see the cave where you woohoo. I saw a bush. And like, I don't know, everyone's like, climbing is so hard. Like, you know, you could plan out this event and then not accomplish it the first time around. Maybe it's because I was like cheating with the needs, I guess. Like maybe my gaming skills are just like too advanced. I don't know, but it was super easy. I found it kind of boring. I was expecting them to fall more. They didn't for some reason. Like, normally my things turn to mayhem. And you'll see that later, okay? Things do turn into a complete wreck. And I thought that was what was going to happen for this hiking expedition trip they were going to go on. And it just didn't. It just didn't really happen that way. They all got up there pretty successfully. I thought at least I would die. But nope. We got to the peak. And again, it's like, this area is beautiful. I want to take my Sims here again just to see the world again. But there's like nothing really to do there. Like, I'm trying to think of like what would make me do this. And I'm like, maybe if I did like a challenge season and this was like the finale. But I would have to add like other stuff. Like, this was not that hard for me. Maybe if all their skills were pretty low. But I did have them practice rock climbing quite a bit, and I just didn't really show it on camera because it was pretty boring, and it was mainly when I was trying to figure out how to even get them to climb the mountain. I was like, I've climbed this rock a billion times. I've like done this so many times. They have skill points. Why can't I do it? But it was just because it was an event. I didn't really know. And then when it comes to the peak itself, it is pretty bland. Maybe that's how I missed the cave that was up there. So I did actually go on the gallery instead of building a lot. I'm not that good with like terrain tools and stuff like that. I don't really mess around that much with all of that. So I got a lot from the gallery. The lot is by Memories 410 on the Sims gallery, and I think it's just called like Peak. I could totally look at my screen and tell you, but am I gonna do that? No. Look for yourself. Go on that girl's page. She deserves it. The lots didn't work that well, but it looks amazing, okay? So we finally get there. It's like sunset, and we have the moon on one side. We have the sun on the other side, and it is stunning. I think this is like the best looking world we've had so far in The Sims, apart from maybe Sulani. And it just looks great. Like, I want to take pictures up here. I want to have like a wedding up here, but you have to hike up here every single time. Like, is there a cheat for me just to poof up here? Like, it's like going to a hidden world, and it's like, those are really cool. I always want to build on those, but one, the lot is always itty bitty tiny, and it's like a bitch to get there. So it's kind of annoying. Like, while I was there, I was like, oh, this is great. My sim is also dying, and this is also annoying. So I don't know. I have mixed feelings about this whole hike on this mountain journey. I'm not too sure how I feel about it. This lot looks amazing though. My sims are having a blast. There's a yeti in a cave. That's hilarious and amazing. Everyone else are kind of like just chilling out, hanging out by the fire. Some of the boys climb up to the top, which my sims actually couldn't do. I had to kind of teleport them there, but and they look out over the horizon, and it's just a really cool, exciting moment that I was actually glad I got to accomplish, even though it was pretty easy. Pretty easy to do. And of course, as soon as I switch back to the house, Joffrey is getting abducted by aliens, which kind of makes sense. I mean, he is now officially engaged to Colton, our alien islander. So maybe that's just his family. He's finally meeting the parents before the wedding. I'm not too sure. Like, maybe Colton is in there, because when he comes back, he might be pregnant. We'll have to wait and find out officially, but he does have those moodlet symptoms, and I'm like, okay. Hopefully Colton was in there. Not his, like, brother-in-law, but who knows. I don't know what went down in that spaceship. Joffrey instantly starts drinking, though, which kind of makes sense. I think, like, if I were to, like, land back on Earth, I'd be, like, trying to put something in my system. And then I try to focus mainly on the kids. I feel like going into other series, these kids are the ones I'd probably focus on. And so I really want to get enough footage of them, show you guys like my islander offspring. And also all of my sims keep slipping. Like, not even just here, but like since the latest update, I feel like all my sims do is slip. Is that like, it's not even a barefoot thing actually. It's not even an indoor-outdoor thing. Like, they're always falling all the time. Not even a clumsy sim. I don't know what's with that. Is anyone else experiencing that? I'm not too sure. Let me know down below in the comments. But like I said, I wanted to focus on the kids. So I had them like go outside. They're playing like in the snow together. Yeah, I want them all to be best friends. As you can also see, of course, I wasn't going to leave Gage all messed up like that, even though I kind of did want to. I did close my game without saving it, and he was fixed. He was normal. I aged him up when he wasn't doing something, and he's fine now. Okay, don't panic. Also, I brought all the kids out there to play, and of course, none of them decided to play, and Harry kept falling over. Again, I don't know why everyone keeps slipping and falling everywhere. Is it just like a winter thing, maybe, potentially? I don't know. But all we're left with, sadly, is Harry and Layla, and they have a little fun snowball fight, which ends up not being that fun to watch. It's a lot like the water balloon fights, where there's like 2 throws, and then the rest of the time it's your Sims like standing there idle, like waiting to throw another thing. Like, it's very weird and strange. Wasn't what I was aiming for. Alright, and then now I have another weird moment where it is Christmas, okay? It is finally Christmas. And Alana goes to start cooking Christmas dinner, and then I don't know if everyone was called to clean on accident, or if they were all trying to cook something or what, but like everyone follows her to the kitchen and just like watches her cook the dinner over her shoulder, and they're all just standing there watching her and waiting and like hunting down the food, and she's just like cooking, breaking up a sweat, putting the turkey in the oven, you know, doing all this stuff, and they're just watching her. Like, I feel like this is a weird episode of master chef or something. It's very weird. But Alana does end up cooking a pretty good turkey dinner, and everyone just kind of attacks it and eats it all at once. And there's like so many Sims in my household that I don't even think it feeds everyone necessarily, but whatever. Whoever got to eat Christmas dinner got to eat it, I guess.
Yoo-hoo! Bambili!
Ugh! Grob!
Uh-huh. Yes.
Yeah.
Actually, it looks like it turns out the meal she made wasn't that good. But it's the only meal that was made. If you remember on Thanksgiving, someone made a bad meal and then other people remade it, made it good for everyone. That doesn't seem to be happening this time, unfortunately. Everyone's just eating the bad food and just like smiling while shoveling it in their mouths. And actually, randomly, Parker decides to show up again. And this time, the last time Parker showed up, she went straight to the bar with Cole, who also came with her. They didn't talk to anyone, and then they just left. It was very weird. This time, she actually goes in and straight away, joins the group, grabs the plate, starts talking to everyone, and it's being super social this time. I don't know if last time she was just nervous. It had been a while. A lot had gone on. But she was finally actually social this time, interacting. It was good to see her kind of being her normal self and not, like, I don't know, the last few times that you've seen her, she was pregnant, she was at the finale, she was like being a waiter for them, for the finalist. She had a baby, It was like not very fun. And then when she showed up earlier, it was like very weird and awkward. So it was good to see her finally back to normal almost.
Nancy Grove, Nefazu, Dwambe Zybro, Guam, Gypsy Do, Nancy Fu, Zygrom by Grove, Don't Zyb, Zyb.
Alright, so a lot of the Sims are full now. They're taking little cat naps. It seems as though Renee is stuck on top of the dryer somehow. Not too sure how that happened. I did get her down though. Saved her life. Cole has also arrived with Parker, and he's kind of socializing this time and getting along with everyone, and that's also nice to see. I think like maybe Thanksgiving just isn't the holiday for them, but Christmas is. And we actually have more guests this time than just the two of them. It seems as though Isabella has came and has decided to visit for Christmas all on her own. I didn't invite any of these Sims. They all just kind of showed up. And I know a lot of you love Isabella, so I bet you're really happy to see her again. And then we also have Rick arriving, surprisingly, and I think he looks great. Rick was like so briefly featured on the series, and he actually is living a really interesting life out of the show. Like, I did not tell him what to do autonomously. He went and got married to like the transgender princess of Sulani. Can't think of her name right now, but he like married her. I think they have children together. So he's a married man. He is not here looking for love. He's just here to reunite and maybe get some camera time for once. And he's actually a pretty great guest to have at your house. Like, he instantly just goes to the third floor. Like, he heard the buzzing of my broken neon sign and just straight ahead starts fixing all my neon signs for me. Like, thank you. What a holiday treat Rick is. Thank you. And it seems as though my suspicions were correct. Joffrey is indeed pregnant. Okay, he got abducted by aliens. He is now pregnant with an alien baby. Is it Colton's baby? I do not know. Is it Colton's alien's brother? Colton's dad? Colton's alien god? I do not know. But he is Joffrey is pregnant with an alien baby. We are going to have 2 alien babies in this Love Island family. Who knew? And a vampire mermaid. Like, our Love Island offspring are wild. Who knew these supernatural, 4 supernatural islanders that we would have such potent sperm? Ew.
Tebow.
Noise.
Ganir. Kruba. Ken West.
The boo!
Chabe Sturka.
Yanabi!
Ah, Canoe.
And it seems as though downstairs, Alana and Clay have found some alone time together. They've been flirting, they've been woohooing. Aurora has been trying to compete, but just has not been able to. Oh, wow. That looked interesting. And they are making out, they're flirting, and they just, you know what, they say, screw it, let's just make it official. So, yep, that is correct. Alana and Clay are finally boyfriend and girlfriend. Will we have 2 weddings in this holiday special? No. But maybe in the future, who knows? Alana is now taken. Will she be taking this relationship seriously? I also can't tell you. I do not know the answers to that. And I personally open my presents on Christmas Eve, but I don't know, their Christmas is kind of like Christmas Eve. It's a bit weird in The Sims. So I was like, you know what, let's go ahead, let's open the presents. I'm excited to see what the kids get. And I go ahead and I have Alana and Clay kind of call everyone in. They kind of tell them all the good news. All the kids come in. I kind of get everyone try to get into the room to try to open up presents. And it works somewhat. I mainly just wanted the kids to open them. As there's only 4 of them, I wanted to spoil them as much as I could. So I kept having them open up present after present, and they like hardly got anything. Like, most of the presents when they did open them there was nothing inside. Like, maybe they're just naughty kids and they just don't get anything instead of getting coal. But it was just very weird. Like, one of them got one of the like figurines, and another one got like something else that was stupid, but that was about it. Like, hardly any of them got anything, even after opening gift after gift. So that was a bit disappointing. I wanted a bigger, better Christmas for them than the one they actually got. When it came to the younger kids, they weren't too upset. I ended up just buying them stuff, like through Build Buy. But everyone else kind of had a good time. Obviously, Clay and Alana are having a good time. They decide, let's ditch this party and let's go woohoo. And it looks as though... what is this bitch's name? Anya. Oh, Anya. Sorry for touching the microphone. Anya is a sassy brat, if I'm being honest. She's not happy about Christmas. It didn't go the way she wanted to go. She storms outside in a little huffy walk and kicks over the trash can. Is just like having a rage fit. Meanwhile, Alana and Clay have not learned from their first lesson with the hot spring. They decide that that is going to be the perfect location for them to hook up at. No one ever uses it, I think, because no one ever showers enough in this household, if I'm being honest. So they decide to go back there. They get in. They start woohooing. Of course, it instantly turns to a swamp. They are like Princess Fiona and Shrek woohooing in the swamp right now. It's a pretty gross sight to see. Yeah. Alright, so this next scene is kind of confusing. Like, I didn't even realize how confusing it was until after. But, okay, so Anya is pissy. She's still upset. She kind of huffs upstairs to one of the bedrooms, and she ends up walking into a room that has Ava. Now, Ava is not her mom, but she's talking to her. She's kind of telling her about her problem. She's venting to her. And then awkwardly, Renee ends up walking in eventually when she really starts getting into it. And when I tell you my confusion between Renee and Ava increased so much in this scene, like I have already complained about me being confused by both of them. Like the only real difference is one has short hair and one has long hair. They're both with like brunette, beefy men. Like, I don't know, it was just so confusing. And Anya's like going on and on about it. Renee ends up walking in, she's kind of like listening. And then it just like keeps continuing. Eventually Anya actually gets up and leaves the room, and Ava just like follows her. She's kind of like berating her. She's like, "What's wrong with you? You have such an attitude. You're so rude to everyone." And things actually start to get like kind of physical. They get into each other's faces. They're actually arguing and yelling and pushing, and it's dramatic. Like, you think she would do this to her own mother potentially, or like her mom being there would stop her from doing it, or her mom would say something, but nope, she just lets it happen.
So, Arbe. Get a vina? Apalachawas. Isfumon Sikafus.
Tanoba, Doror, Lasarek, Gazib, Branik Wasor, Sekalu, Hani.
Close to Hibine, Hapiam, Evanage.
Okay, so here's where things get a little dicey. It was a reason why there's like a week break in between. And it's because I'm not happy with how this series ended, okay? Originally, the next day, I had Joffrey and Colton's wedding. It was in a park in the same world. The park that like Little Simsy built. My arch enemy, by the way. If you're a fan of me and you like Little Simsy, just go ahead and I was gonna say go ahead and unfollow me, but I have like 150 subscribers and I would probably lose every single one of them. But we are enemies, okay? Her and the drag queen that also does hot dog suits. Anyone in a hot dog suit that's not me, screw you. But back to what I was saying. Joffrey and Colton, they were getting married. They got married. It was a very cute ceremony. I recorded the whole thing. Nothing dramatic really happened, but it was very cute, romantic. We had a conclusion. We had a wedding. Okay? I also did New Year's. Nothing really spectacular happened on New Year's. I kind of forgot the whole countdown, and like nothing really happened at all. And also like on Christmas, I didn't find Santa. I never saw him at a fireplace. That was kind of awkward. But while I'm doing all of this, I think it was after I finished the New Year's thing. I had been recording for a while. My game froze and shut off. And I was like, well, it's fine. I still have the footage. It doesn't really matter if it didn't save or anything. I still have that footage. Did I bother going and checking to see if I had that footage? No. Because in my big brain, I was like, I already got it. I don't need to check. That was a mistake. So then I go back into my Sims game and I'm like ready to continue, ready to end it, ready to wrap this up. This was also when I was unaware that I didn't have the footage. And I open up my Sims game, I click on the lot, and I am presented with this. You see, we have Renee casually... Actually, it's not even Renee. It's freaking Ava. We have Ava casually freezing outside. I'm like, girl, what are you doing? Like, go inside. Warm up by the fire. And then she, like, goes and takes that way too seriously. Because when she goes inside to warm up on by the fire, everything is already on fire. There's a huge fire just on my lot, randomly. I already have people burning. Like, it is mayhem as soon as I enter the lot. Thankfully, there's like a bunch of different alternate ways to get out of the house, but everyone still just loves to run through the fire as that's the safest route to get away from it. But I'm just like stuttering. I can't even get it out because I can't believe like this is how it ended up. So Ava has died. She is officially warmed up from the frostbite she had started to develop outside. And we have Damien burning to death. We have Joffrey burning to death. A lot of people are escaping, getting out of the fire, which is pretty good. But the people that are in the fire are just kind of like allowing themselves to be burned. No one's trying to save them. I don't have fire alarms in this room because I really didn't think about it. if you download this lot on the gallery at Singleton RW, it's Winter Love Island is what the lot's called. Put some fire alarms in there, okay? Because this is gonna happen, and it's just a nightmare. Like, why does this have to happen to every single thing I do? There's always a billion fires, and then it just gets like worse and worse as it goes on. Like, of course, the Grim Reaper arrives, and like Harry, the young little boy Harry, like is like running into the house to try to get his dad or whoever is. No, his dad's not in there. Is his mom in there or something? I don't know. He runs inside. He ends up catching on fire. Everyone is catching on fire and dying. I'm having to watch a little kid burn to death in front of me. Like, I did this on American Horror Story. I didn't think I'd have to do this on Love Island. Not to mention, it's such a slow burn, too. Like, not even Isabella. Luna awkwardly walking by as they're burning to death. Like, Alana even tries to go inside again for some reason. Ends up catching on fire because, like, the doors are on fire. So it's like, on your way in or out, you're most likely catching on fire. So she catches on fire. She's, like, dying. And I'm like, not my girl, Alana. Like, anyone but her. Like, everyone is just getting it, and it's a disaster. Like, this is the worst New Year's party ever, and this is why fireworks are banned in most states. So we have Harry dead, we have Alana dying, everyone's pissing themselves outside watching their loved ones and family members and friends die in front of them on a joyous holiday. And it's just your typical hot dog series. I honestly didn't plan this. Like, I didn't plan to have a Hunger Games at the end of this. Anything like that. But of course, naturally, my series has to end this way. Just up in flames. I did actually end up going around and trying to, like, reset some of the Sims, see if I could prevent anything from happening. And it did work for a few of them. Like, Harry ends up dying, and he even gets an urn and everything. And I ended up resetting him somehow, and he just, like, walks out of the house. Damien and Cole burned forever, but neither of them, or not Cole, Joffrey and Damien ended up burning forever, and neither of them died. Same with Alana. Like, a lot of them ended up surviving, even if they did die technically, which was pretty good at the end of the day. And most of them did end up escaping, but that was the end of it. All right, so then I'm like, well, I'm done here. Like, most people got away safe. It ended up in a big finale. Like, I was disappointed, but kind of content with it. And then, of course, I saved my game, actually. I'm like, I'm going to save it, okay? Because I'm ending the story here, right? Like, this is the last episode of this series of Love Island. If I were to ever do Love Island again, which I don't know if I'm going to. I don't know if I'm ever going to repeat a series, necessarily. It would be a whole new cast. So I'm like, I'm completely done with this. I'm just going to save it. I know everything's been uploaded to the gallery already. I even delete the file after. Like, I'm like, I am good to go. Like, I have been filming this thing forever, and we are done. So then I get off. I'm like updating everything. I'm like trying to edit the video together. When I realize that all the footage of Cole, why do I keep wanting to say Cole? Joffrey and Colton's wedding, all of that footage, poof, gone. Never saved when my computer crashed. It didn't save the video file like I thought it would. All my New Year's footage was gone, and the only thing I was left with after that disappointing Christmas they had where they were arguing with each other was a big fire. And that was disappointing for me, and honestly it was hard for me to make these videos knowing that that was the result of them. I kept trying to warn you guys that something big was going to happen, and that was it. It's a bit of a disappointing finale for me, and it was also a reason why it took me like an extra week to make this video, because I was just kind of disappointed in it. I'm sorry the series ended this way. It's kind of my bad. But let me know what you thought of everything down below. If you would want me to do another Love Island series in the future. What other kind of TV shows would you like me to recreate? And of course, I also have big, important news. Starting in February, I will be having a new reality show series here. It will be The Sims 4 again. I plan on doing a few more Sims 4 series, and then I do have all of The Sims 3, so I might even go back and do some of that. Actually, before I introduce the series, I gotta say, I totally called the new stuff pack in my last episode. Like, I filmed that episode, like, the day before I posted it. And I talk about, like, why is there cemeteries? We need ghosts. Are we going to have a ghost pack? Is this, like, a hint? I totally called it. I don't post this week. And then they announce a paranormal stuff pack. Like, the footage is there. Like, I'm a psychic. Anyway, back to my announcement. At the beginning of February, I will be doing a brand new series, and it will be The Sims 4 Survivor Oasis. It's going to be really fun. Of course, it's your favorite show, Survivor, and it will be half winners of the real life show that weren't featured in Winners at War, and half of your favorite townies. I'm really excited. At the end of this, I will be showing you the intro, so you'll be seeing a sneak peek of the cast. So make sure to check that out and stay toward the end of this video. But yeah, I'm really excited for that. I hope you guys like Survivor. I love Survivor. During quarantine, I binge watched all 40 seasons of Survivor US. So at the end of it, I might post like a rating every Survivor season type of thing and stuff like that. I will gotta say, that made sense. I do have to say it is my longest series to date. Okay, it's like 30 episodes, 3 episodes a week for about 10 weeks. So I hope you guys are prepared for that. Hope you guys are excited, and I will see you guys in February when that premieres. Until then, you can follow me on Twitter for updates, or TikTok. I do updates on there as well. Always subscribe, hit the bell, and you will get notified. I love all my followers that I've gained so far. All of you guys mean the most to me. I love talking to you. Leave comments. I will always respond. I'm always here to talk, and I can't wait for you guys to see my new series. Here is the intro for The Sims 4 Survivor Oasis.